Did you get any sort of shout out or bump to get you past affiliate or partner to get, or just beat your head against the wall until it finally worked? Yeah, dude. It was I brute forced it for sure. I didn't get any shout outs, man. I haven't gotten shout outs to this day. Like just turn up, stream, bit by bit, piece by piece. It was just like in the past couple months, I don't think I've gotten a single follower. Like my net is like negative, but there's periods if you consistently stream that you'll get growth over time. I've streamed over 1,000 hours, easy, like 1,000 something, 1,100 something, 1,200. I forget. There's a number, but it's massive and a lot of trial and error. A lot of consistency is what got me there. The inconsistent parts are what are damaging me. But I find that if you want to really grow, I'm finding that that's the truth, and it's a kind of a hard pill to swallow. But the truth is that you have to make YouTube videos and Twitch. You got to do both. You can't just do one. I've seen your YouTube growth. It's like my YouTube growth is pretty shit. Not because of anything else, because of me. I haven't put the right focus into it. And this is what I'm going to try from this point on for at least 3 months. I'm going to be focusing on less streaming and more YouTube. Not like more than. It's like, consistent. I'm going to try and be consistent on Twitch, to know when I turn up. But not doing 10-hour streams every day for 3 months and then I burn the fuck out and disappear. It's like, more focused, more tighter, shorter streams. And then make YouTube videos out of them and post them to all 3 of my channels and let them consistently have something to show. And then that will help me grow because whenever I post something, I get something out of it on YouTube. But I don't post at all almost. So, because the thing is that when I stream, that's 3 hours out of my day. But then when I have to edit, it's probably more than 3 hours of editing just to like go through the footage, have some ideas, chop it up, do the work, render, make a thumbnail, make a description, timing the post. There's so much post-production that is not considered, especially when you're an independent creator where you don't have money to have staff. Like, all the top guys have editors. They've got editors for like chopping clips. They've got thumbnail guys. They've got like different people for different tasks and they all work together to get things done fast. But when you're by yourself, you got to be very careful what you spend your time on. Otherwise, you burn out fast. I have a buddy of mine that is working on getting affiliate and never gets viewers other than me and maybe one of his other friends. His schedule is wide open and can be consistent. Do you have any advice? Okay. So it depends what he's playing. If he's playing games or is he doing just chatting? Like for example, when I did Tekken, I stuck to a specific schedule. Initially, I did studio streams, which were normie streams, like this stuff, right? Like gameplay in the corner, webcam in the corner, play on top, very generic. But I would say, and I had success on that, of course. Like, people like Sainted Placebo came from those streams. Like, he was from like day 1 or day 2 on my streams. Like, he's like at least the first week. Like, he's fucking OG, right? So he found it good enough, hopefully. So, over time, then I went to the Hood stream. That's when I was like trying to do my personal innovations. What could I do a bit differently that could make me stand out? So, like, for example, like I started filming in the living room, pointing the camera at the TV instead of just doing the game capture. I know how to do the game capture. Like, I'm professional level at all this bullshit, right? But, how many people have gone up to me and like, oh, bro, do you know how to use a capture card? It's like, oh, man, like, can you afford to, like, is your computer not strong enough to do game capture? Well, they just think I'm a fucking bozo. But it got a lot of people just clicking in because the thumbnail was interesting. Because it just didn't look like a normal thumbnail. That was the idea. So I found that I spent a lot of time on that. So Leskovitz, he's playing games only and no cam. No cam. That's a big problem. People could get away with no cam 5 years ago. Not anymore. I would say if you can afford a camera, please get a camera. Unless you're Moon, which is he's an edge case. I don't watch Moon, but I've seen a bit of Moon. I've seen some interviews with him. Seems like a cool guy. He's got a good voice. He can come up with shit on the fly. He's very quick. He can pivot and change topics. Be always up and relevant and funny all the time, which is very hard to do. He's gifted in that sense. So that's how you can get away with no cam. And even now, he's introduced a camera. So Like the era of no cam is like we're talking about 2012 or 2013. Nowadays, people want to see what you look like, even in a basic level. Get on Twitter. Twitter can be a little bit of a barren wasteland if you're not getting proper traction. Like I've been on Twitter for 2 years and I've got like only 200 followers. Like that's nothing. It's a drop in the water. I remember watching Petra at my uni library. Oh my god. Facecam helps with viewers. Yeah, of course, because they want to put a face to the voice. I got reeled in by the couch bait. Yeah, it sounds suggestive. Hey. I watched Moon grow. He didn't cam for like his first year. Yeah. He didn't do the cam. But the thing is that he's the exception, not the rule. That's the tricky part. Sometimes you see edge cases and you think that you can do that as well. Like even for me, different other things. Like I think like, I'm like, oh, he does it like this. Like I should try that. It doesn't work because it just happened to work with that person. It's like almost like a, like fate. The fates lined up. It wasn't really supposed to happen, and it just happened for them. And it can actually be like a red herring for people that are trying to start. So it's usually safe to go with what works and then try and find your own flavor over time. Even for me, like my just chatting setup is not this. This is just a meme because we had the Tekken Online Challenge green screen setups, right? So, but normally I did have the Howard Estate one, which I think is a bit different than a regular just chatting stream. You got the Japanese walls, the rice paper walls. You've got the globe that changes with what happens on stream. You've got this kind of like stage mic, and just and an angle that's like you're sitting on next to me on the table. It's like we're having coffee together. That kind of angle. Like I really consider those things. Like even with the couch setup, you're sitting next to me on the couch. You're not like we're not really giving a fuck about what's being done on the screen with great detail. It's more about you're hanging out with me. We're talking shit. You're making fun of me. What am I doing? And I'm playing trash, and that's the fun of it. It's not really about cutting edge gameplay, and also seeing me play games I've never played before and getting like my first reactions, Yeah, Game Grumps. But again, when did they start? 2012 or late 2011 or early 2012. I was there day one back in the day. So yeah, and it was during the Let's Play era, not the live streaming era. So you can't try the same game because you're playing a different game nowadays. In 2020, you're playing a different game. And yeah, if you have a radio voice, if you have a really fucking good voice, then yeah, that's like a weapon. It's like, of course. Get your friends to watch your stream, sure, that always helps. But, sometimes you want to rely on people that you don't want to annoy your friends. Like, friends are always willing to help out, but they can't keep it going forever. It's like, you ask people to push your car to start the motor, not to push your car to take it to the mechanic, There's a big difference between the two, so you got to be careful. Yeah, that's true. 2020 is the year of everyone thinks they're a streamer. It's very interesting. Like, I'm not going to be here to say that you shouldn't be a streamer, but you should ask yourself, should you be a streamer? The same way I ask myself. And I think anybody going into any field should ask themselves, should you do it? Why? What's your motivations behind doing it? And what are you willing to do for it to succeed? It's these questions you always have to ask yourself, no matter what you try and get into. You gotta be your first hater, in a sense. And just like when you're doing a dissertation for your master's degree, and giving a thesis, you have to like be able to batter yourself and come out with good answers. If you can't do that, you're just doing it because it sounds cool, or because I like someone else that does that, or I do it for like I'm not sure. I'm bored. I think it'll be fun. No matter if we're not talking about just streaming, it could be like playing music. It could be going back to university. It could be using a 3D printer. It could be anything, right? It could be like going to the gym. If you don't have a clear goal, even very importantly, something that I'm a victim of, learning languages. If you don't have a clear path, you just can't learn. If you don't have a clear like end goal, end game, we need to learn this to do this by this time. You're lost. You're just going to be wandering like plankton. You're going to get pushed around by the tides and not taking your own path. So you got to be careful. It's really hard because you have to have something that's a little bit different from someone else who's playing the same game. That's why I really stuck to the hood stream setup, because there's no way in hell that my gameplay is going to pull in people. Fuck no, that's dead. Like, I can I would like actually start practicing Tekken off, off stream. That's what it will take for me to do anything of, any, mm, you know, big effect. I'll have to like disappear and just learn the game and come back. Or we can just pull the hood stream is really, it almost carries me in some sense. But I can't rely on it exclusively. I need to like diversify it, put my eggs in different baskets. Green screens, just chatting setups, IRL, running tournaments, going the hood stream setups, doing backseat bucket list, playing games I never played on the couch. Just spread it, and something may catch. So you might find that he's doing something that's just like one tracked, or for example, like, I find it very difficult for people to be playing games like Valorant, Counter Strike, League of Legends, and try to be different because you're just playing the game, and there's a lot. Like, if you're playing League of Legends, I might as well watch Tyler One and I'm a Cutie Pie, and just not. I'm never even gonna bother looking at anyone else. Like I just don't care. Hashinshin for the top lane bosses, all that kind of stuff. Like just we all know who they are and we don't bother. So what can you do to stand out? It's like these are the real questions. These are the hard questions. This is the stuff I ask myself all the time. It's not like something that is willy-nilly. Oh, you just do this and that's it. It's like, fuck. If it was that easy, everyone would be huge. It's not the case. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of thinking. Like I spend time thinking about the stream all the time. I'm not streaming all the time, and I'm always questioning. I'm always the first hater. I'm not gonna be saying like whatever I do that's like kicks ass. It's fucking hot shit. It's really good. Everyone else doesn't get it is a fucking idiot. Although sometimes I do believe it. Like you gotta also believe in yourself. You gotta be your number one fan as well. I'm my number one fan and my number one critic. No one's gonna like believe that I can do it better than I do, and no one can make me feel like I've done a bad job more than I can. No one has control over those two positions except me. So I find a lot of people either have one of the two or none of the two. And that's when you kind of have imbalances. If you're not willing to criticize yourself every few weeks to see what the fuck is going on and what's working and what isn't, and having the flexibility, the mental flexibility to make that choice, to cut that, it's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's just it's not working for me. It's like, instead of like, it's like, in The Simpsons, let's do a Simpsons reference, where Bart is trying to grab the cookie jar and he's like hitting his head on the cupboard. And, instead of just stopping, he's just like, ow, 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 never gets the message. And he's got his big swollen head and he fucking dies at the end of it, It's all that. It's like, improvise, adapt, overcome. It's all that, always. I learned a lot from that kind of stuff from Aris as well. Aris talks about it a lot. I think what saved him and what made him what he is his ability to pivot. Pivoting is so underrated. That's what makes like the best generals. If you go and study ancient battle tactics, even modern World War II stuff and World War I stuff, the ability to pivot under pressure is what separates generals from fucking frontline infantry that gets blasted. Fuck me, man. And that separates like good artists as well. I was mind blown when Twitch started recommending my stream. Yeah, I heard that they were doing that. Because forget the idea that Twitch is going to promote you. It's not a promotional tool. It's basically a content creation tool. You're either going to like clip up, you're going to turn this stream into clips, or you're just going to be turning up for people to see you consistently. But the discovery tool is YouTube. A lot of people came and said, bro, I found your stream because I saw your lever swap video or your like Panthera artwork swap video. I'm like, fuck. I posted that video a year ago and I haven't looked at it back since, and it's bringing me new people when I've literally been streaming on Twitch for thousands of hours and no one's turning up. It's like, oh, okay, then you start to really see where the importance should be. Fuck. Getting off the ground when you start streaming is 90% perseverance and consistency. Yes, but it's also like I'm starting to learn this now. It's about working smart. Fuck, it's really important, man. These are like the lessons that I need to put into action before I turn 30. Like for my whole life. Like, it's just really, I need to distill it. Learn to let go. Learn to not be too controlling. All that kinds of. That's another story. That's another story for another time. Yeah, get the stable thing throughout all your diversifying is yourself. Yeah, okay. Then that's a good one. So yeah, I'm doing all these different things, but at the end of the day, I'm still me. I'm not being different every time. I'm just introducing you into different scenarios with me still around, so we're always vibing and talking and doing what we're doing, but we're just changing up the scene. It's like mixing it up in the relationship, you know. We change restaurants. We just do like quirky, spontaneous things once in a while, just enough times before you start complaining that I'm not doing anything quirky. I'm just trying to be one step ahead. But yeah, I like the analogy. The stream category, they're just a window of contextual thing to whether or not someone thinks you're worth engaging with. Gameplay is dispensable, but you, the factor, is the distinction. Yes, no one has nailed it. Once uni is up, I have many videos planned to make. Okay, yeah, like you mean like pre-made YouTube videos. Yeah, that stuff will make you blow up like you wouldn't imagine. Because that's evergreen content, especially if you focus on evergreen content, stuff that um, you post it once and it's forever relevant. That's what I like to do. I think if you ever had to do anything like that, it would be evergreen. Tutorials, reviews, stuff like that. Like, first impressions, stuff like that you can always go back and check and, instead of just like, highlights, like who gives a fuck, sometimes, I find that highlight clips, I think that I basically, the Twitch clip compilation, the community Twitch clip compilations, I've scrapped. I'm going to scrap them because it's not working. It's not doing what I want it to do, and it's very time consuming.